Cheers. Cheers, everybody. New York Cocktail Expo Online Week. Waiting for folks to chime in. Everybody come on in. This is Matt Corey, owner and founder of NY Cocktail Expo. I hope you guys are excited about rum, man. We have our next class coming up. You guys go ahead and why don't you tell me where you're from, what you're drinking, load up in the chat. Tell me where you're chiming in from. I want to hear from you. What's your name? What are you drinking? Where you from? Are you excited about rum? Go ahead as we load people up here, you guys. So I'm Matt Corey, the owner and founder of New York Cocktail Expo. So we are New York's premier cocktail festival and spirit expo. We began in 2015 putting a highlight on New York bars. Those bars began to team with spirit brands. And hey, Francis from Ohio, how's it going? Cheers to you. Cheers to you guys. Hi, Angel from Northern Virginia. Name is Kitty. Guys, keep loading it in here. I know there's a bit of delay on the stuff we're saying hi. Hey, Star in Alexandria, Virginia. You're drinking some coquito. Okay. Illinois, Mike from the Bronx drinking coffee. Okay. Tina from Kentucky. Guys, keep chiming in. Nikki from New York. This is exciting. You guys, how are you enjoying New York Cocktail Expo Online Week? Have you been taking the classes? Seeing what's happening, what's going on? You're sneaking a class in while working from home. Joshua, cheers, good. First time, Angel. Roy Wagner, awesome, guys. It's great to have you. It's great to connect. I hope you're ready to talk about some rum. I'm so excited about this next class. Today is our final day of webinars from New York Cocktail Expo Online Week. Today we have a rum class, which we're going to get into in a second. And then later on, we're going to have the cask, secrets of aged spirits. So if you guys are tuning in for that one, I hope that you are. So this next class, you guys, I'm so excited about. I love rum. Who loves rum in the comments? Who's all about rum? Let me hear you. Who's drinking rum? Come on. Guys, the name of Kim Ellis says, me, I love rum. Guys, rum. How passionate are we about rum? Oh my God, look at all the enthusiasm. This is why the rum community is so great. So anything you can do, rum can do better. This is the coolest class. This is the coolest name in the class because it's so true, right? What one rum can do, three can do better. What one rum can do, six can do better, right? What can we do? Layering those spirits. So I'm going to be introducing you to, I'm so excited. I have had the chance to taste some of the rum that we're going to be checking out today. When I first had this rum, I was blown away. The white rum had that flavor profile everyone is getting really excited about, and the dark rum too. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to our Rum for Your Life, introduce you guys to our educator today and a panelist, our special guest. This is Marc Farrell, founder of 10 to 1 Rum, is a proud Trinidadian. He's the founder of 10 to 1 Rum. Marc's unique combination of deep cultural ties to Caribbean culture and intimate knowledge of the U.S. consumer market have propelled him to help elevate the conversation around rum. This is so great. Rum on the rise. And he's bringing an inspired new product to the market, an extroverted cheerleader in chief with a passion for storytelling and engaging consumers. Marc's varied responsibilities include developing the brand voice, building a dynamic team, product development, strategy, marketing, and sales. So prior to launching 10 to 1 Rum, Marc Farrell was most recently held a number of roles, one of them being Starbucks' youngest vice president. Wow, that's a cool, noteworthy talking point there, including e-commerce, U.S. retail lobby, and beverage innovation. He was recruited to join the executive team after a serendipitous meeting with Howard Schultz, the company's founder and CEO. This followed earlier professional stints at Fidelity Equity Partners and Bain and Company, Farrell attended MIT at age 16, followed by Cambridge University and Harvard Business School. Throughout his career, Farrell dreamed of creating a product that genuinely reflected himself and his Caribbean DNA. Guys, I want you to get some fire in the chat. Give me some fire, guys. Say hello to our presenter, Marc Farrell. Cheers, Marc. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to see you, man. It's great to see you. How are you?
Great to see you. Always good to connect. Always good to connect. Love the energy, the good vibes. Can't think of a better way to kick off a Monday, you know?
I know, right? I was just thinking, this is Monday. We're making this Monday great, man.
We're making this Monday quite excellent, you know?
Cool. So I'm going to be handing it over to you. Guys, I want you to fire up your questions for Marc. He's going to be talking to us throughout it. Fire up your questions in the chat. Put them in the Q&A as well. We're going to be asking questions about rum. And we're doing a whole Q&A session after Marc's presentation, right? We're going to have you there for a Q&A after, guys. So if we don't get to your questions during it, I'll be coming on doing that. But afterwards, we will do a Q&A. So I'm going to say cheers to you guys. Cheers, Marc.
Yo, cheers, Matt. I have to say that Meg's already my current favorite. She says I need to do a toothpaste commercial with the smile. So, okay, cool. You keep on monitoring those comments to me, right?
I will. We need the smile right now because they're covered. So it's great we can see each other smile right now, right?
Exactly. We need a little bit of that.
Cheers to you. I'll see you guys in a bit. Have fun with Marc. Take it away, Marc.
You're going to make me the host, right?
That's right. I'm going to make you the host. Let's get you there. This way you can lead us through your presentation, which I'm excited about. I love this rum. So I'm going to be tuning in and checking it out. We've just made you the host.
All right.
All righty.
Just make sure I can get this up and running. Yep. I think everybody. Okay. Yeah.
So good. Check it out. I'll be tuning in with any questions, and we're excited to hear about 10 to 1 rum and then seeing what we're doing with cocktails. Cheers to you, Marc.
Awesome. Hey, cheers to you, Matt. I'll see you shortly. All right, everybody. Hopefully you guys are able to see my screen. I'm going to be super psyched to bring in Nick Ruiz into the conversation in a little bit. But before doing that, just wanted to again say what's up and introduce you all to the world of 10 to 1 and our topic today, which is anything you can do, rum can do better. Glad to see so many different fans of the spirit that are among the attendees today. So before even beginning, I like to kind of introduce both myself and I guess the genesis of 10 to 1. And I always tell people that the story for the brand begins in Trinidad and Tobago, because that's where I'm from. That's where I was born and raised. Spent the first 16 years of my life there before moving to the US for college. And, for such a long time as somebody who's lived there, I'm currently residing in New York, I've always observed this very substantial gap between rum culture, Caribbean culture, as I know and love them where I'm from in Trinidad, versus the way that I often see it being brought to life here in the US. Again, I'm so glad to see so many lovers of rum who are amongst the audience today, but I've always felt that, like, for many consumers, rum feels a little bit like the one spirit that's been left off to the side. Whereas, vodka, tequila, mezcal, gin, American whiskey more recently have all had their moments in the sun, their moments of renaissance. Rum feels like it's, again, sort of been left off to the side. Hasn't had that same level of appreciation and elevation that we all know that it actually deserves. And so as somebody who's from the Caribbean, really kind of my call to action in creating this brand was to do exactly that. Find a way to help at least elevate the conversation around rum and introduce something that feels more elevated, more authentic, more versatile in its inclination to market. And so that really is kind of how 10 to 1 came to be. We talk a lot about this idea of rum reimagined. Rum reimagined to me says, I want to take everything that the everyday consumer thinks they know about rum today and kind of turn it on its head, turn it upside down, begin to cultivate that sense of pride and joy and appreciation, love for the spirit. And we talk about our mission statement really anchoring around this idea of challenging expectations, right? At 10 to 1, we say we want to create a contemporary and elevated blend, which is designed to challenge expectations and reinvigorate the way that people taste, experience, and talk about rum. When I, as a founder, sit down to think about day after day and night after night what success looks like in this category, how we can contribute to this category, fundamentally, it is this mission statement that I'm always turning over in my head. So how exactly do we do that? Now, for me, building this business is a combination of course, making sure that you have an incredible product, the juice that's in the bottle, so to speak. And then you think about the brand that you want to create and the story you want to tell around it. So we started with our first two expressions, our 10 to 1 dark, our aged rum, and our 10 to 1 white rum. For anybody who's tuning in, who happens to have a bottle nearby, might be tasting along, or might be a little bit curious, let me describe each of the expressions to you guys a little bit. So the first, our 10 to 1 dark, again, our aged rum, is a blend from 4 different countries: Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. We thought this idea, again, sort of showcasing the versatility of rum and this idea of highlighting different distillation methods, different terroirs, different provenances from around the Caribbean and bringing them to life in a single blend would really be very compelling. This is an 8-year-old rum. 3 of the rums in here are column still rums, the exception being the Jamaican, which is a little bit of unaged high ester pot still rum. You hear a lot of rum aficionados talk about the funk that Jamaican rums, the pot still rums tend to have. You get a tiny hint of that as you experience the 10 to 1 aged. The rums are aged in ex-bourbon barrels. We like to bring that point up a ton because we believe in this idea of building bridges to consumers in other categories. If you're a whiskey lover or a bourbon lover, you're going to find some notes on this rum that are really, really resonant for you. No added sugar, no added color, no added flavoring, just let great rum stand on its own. And I think trying to combat some of the perceptions of rum being overly sweet, highly caloric, sugar bomb, and any of those things. And if you were to kind of walk through a tasting, typically here on the nose, what you would pick up are some notes of baking spice, a little bit of cooked fruit, kind of something warm and familiar from grandma's kitchen, as we like to say, a little bit of that hint of banana peel coming from the esters and volatiles in the Jamaican rum. Now, on the palate, you get some of those same notes, but also a little bit of the barrel really expressing itself. Some notes of cedar, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of kind of toffee or caramel some folks pick up as well. Very well balanced, moderate acidity, a little dry on the finish, which we've done deliberately, again, to sort of combat this perception that rum is overly sweet. Cloying, right? Coating in its expiration. And if you ask me to describe this rum in a single word, no surprise, that word is versatile, highly versatile, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. Our white rum, similarly really compelling. It's also a blend from Jamaica, Jamaican pot still rum, sitting alongside Dominican column still rum. A lot of rum fans, if you're a rum nerd like me, you love big, bold, funky, high proof Jamaican pot still rums. But we thought that we could find a really unique way to combine that alongside the Dominican column still rum and create something that felt very unique, very compelling, and still very accessible for most consumers. So on the nose of this rum, you're going to pick up a little bit of fresh citrus. It has a more grassy, herbaceous quality than the dark rum does. But it actually drinks very sort of, has a zesty kind of clean minerality as we like to describe it. Slightly higher proof. It's 90 proof. We did that in part because you want to give a white rum really great body. You can stand up very well in a cocktail, certainly a daiquiri and beyond. And again, no added sugar, no color, no flavoring of any sort. So super proud of both of these expressions. And I see my guy Matt is here. You have a question?
Yeah, it's like when Matt's face pops up, boom, we've got a question, right?
Yeah.
I do have a question for you. So I'm just going to read them as they write them. This is Star. What's up, Star? How you doing? Thanks for joining in all the classes. Question for Mark. Is the Jamaican in the dark the same as the white rum?
Yeah, good question. Yes, effectively. And actually, in both cases, the Jamaican rum is from Worthy Park. That's the distillery that's the input in the blend. In both cases, unaged, high ester, Jamaican pot still rum. Is that it, Matt? Okay,
Yeah, Star, if we've answered your question, let us know. Star, let us know in the chat. Thanks so much.
Cool. Yeah, so super excited about both these expressions. As you can see at the bottom, they both, we're new to market, just started entering a couple of competitions. The white rum actually took home Best Rum of 2020 at the LA Spirits Awards and a platinum medal recently, which we're really proud of. And the dark rum, also a silver medal at the 2020 USA Spirits Ratings. We also just launched, I'm super excited about this. This one's really, really dope. We did a limited bottling of a 17-year-old single cask Trinidadian Reserve rum. Only about 1,200 bottles of this ever made. We launched it about 2 weeks ago prior to sort of Thanksgiving holiday. And this one has gotten some really tremendous excitement and some noise around it. So anybody who's interested in trying something that feels, supremely elevated, super unique, again, it's a single cask. This might be a great one for you to keep your eyes on. As we mentioned, the rum's been getting a ton of great press, making a bunch of waves, Forbes, New York Times, Vine Pair, the list goes on. Now, a lot of people, I'm actually going to preempt a question here. And a lot of people ask me where the name for 10 to 1 comes from, right? And I actually like to give that backstory because it really signals how we are thinking about bringing the overall brand to life. The name 10 to 1, it's not a time of day. It is not the odds of, it's not betting odds, even though maybe it's odds of success or something. It actually is inspired by the original Caribbean Federation, which consisted of 10 countries, right? So the idea of 10 becoming one. And as Trinidad's prime minister at the time said, Dr. Eric Williams, he made the point that 1 from 10 equals 0. What he was alluding to was this notion that we are stronger together than we are apart. So we like to say that 10 to 1 is a brand that is grounded in this idea of community, strength in numbers, this notion again that we are stronger together than we are apart. Everything about this brand is intentional, right? So whether you look at the logo, which is the national bird of Trinidad, the scarlet ibis, to the red and the white labels, which are riffs off of old shipping labels from the days of sugarcane making its way from the Caribbean through the ports of the US and Europe, to the exaggerated heel. We want to put rum quite literally on a pedestal, and that should resonate with, I think, a number of folks who are in the audience today. Every element of this brand should feel intentional, right? And they're all being grounded in these ideas of authentic Caribbean history, culture, and heritage as we proceed to do that. Super briefly on our customer, right? I use this saying a lot. I say like 10 to 1 is a brand that is elevated, but not exclusive. There's no velvet ropes around this brand. There's no sense of me over here and you over there, right? We welcome all comers. We want to build a big tent around this brand, right? Our consumer believes the same things that we believe, right? They celebrate versatility and uniqueness of expression. They value individuality. And of course, most of all, they really love some great rum. We launched in New York about a year and a half ago at this point. And this is a really kind of quick snapshot of some of the really iconic and tremendous accounts, tremendous partners we've been lucky to have in New York over the last year and change. And perhaps for those who are tuning in right now, you're wondering sort of where and when 10 to 1 is going to launch. So coming to a city near you, right? In the last several months, we've launched Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, for anybody out there tuning in from those states, Georgia and South Carolina as well. And then on deck for early 2021, we have DC, Florida, California, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So we should have a nice sprinkling of 10 to 1 presence, in addition to our e-commerce, which we'll talk about in a bit, all over the US pretty soon. So last thing I'll bring up before kind of talking about, let's kind of get Nick into the conversation here and start talking about how we bring this rum to life, is the importance of a brand with a voice. And these are 3 brand pillars you're seeing on the screen here, but I'm just going to talk about one of them. I'm talking about this idea of Caribbean made. Caribbean made to me is really important because what it says as an idea is you don't have to have been born and raised in the Caribbean. Like you don't have to have been born in Trinidad with a Trinidadian passport to be Caribbean made. If your mother or your grandmother happen to be from the Caribbean, that's Caribbean made. If you've been to Trinidad Carnival or to the beaches of Barbados or Montego Bay, that actually is Caribbean made. If you've grown up right here in the US and you've been inspired by Caribbean music or art or fashion or food, that to me is all Caribbean made. And so again, we want to sort of again, create this bigger tent, this bigger idea, this bigger ideal of what it means to be a part of the story that we're creating and the brand that we're building. And certainly I would invite all of you guys who are tuning in this afternoon and listening in to feel like you are part of that Caribbean made story, without a doubt. So now we're getting close to the main event here. And, when I launched this brand, one of the things that I've shared with my team time and time again that we really want to focus on is, establishing the moorings of the brand, right? With real credibility around the product. We want to invest in educating consumers on how to experience it, how to enjoy it, how to drink it. And so we start with this kind of, we have sort of a 3-tiered approach. First of all, our expressions are elevated on a standalone basis. You need to be able to enjoy them on their own. So both rums are incredible if you wanted to sip the dark rum neat, sip the white rum on the rocks with a lime wedge or a grapefruit wedge. Certainly they are incredible. They carry incredible water on their own. Secondly, we talk about this idea of what we call the origin serves. It's always really funny to me, I might have the bottles, I'm out at a party or at a bar in non-COVID times, obviously. And it's funny to see how uncertain some consumers are about how to approach rum. How do I mix it? How do I drink it? What do I do with it? And they wouldn't have those same questions if they were walking up to a bottle of tequila or a bottle of gin, right? And so we spend a lot of time trying to educate consumers on how to enjoy it on a baseline level. And the mixers we recommend with our rums are soda water, tonic water, and coconut water. And the coconut water one raises eyebrows sometimes, and I tell people it's not a gimmick, right? Like that's actually how people will enjoy rum or actually Scotch whiskey in the Caribbean as well. They're all super clean, very refreshing. They actually allow the presence of the rum or the integrity of the rum to still shine, and they're all really tremendous ways to enjoy your 10 to 1 dark or 10 to 1 white. And finally, the versatility of rum. And here we really like to emphasize this notion of, and there it is, drum roll, anything you can do, rum can do better. In my mind, and you guys will say I'm a little biased, but you're probably all a little biased too if you've tuned into this session, rum is the most versatile spirit you can find. And if you find one like 10 to 1, which is, again, very elegant and very elevated in its own right, the world is your oyster in terms of the types of cocktails that you can ultimately create. So we kind of love to give you a lineup, say, from an old fashioned to a Negroni, a Manhattan, a martini, a margarita or a ramarita, and certainly, of course, the traditional classic, the daiquiri. This rum has incredible range, right? And gives you a chance to, I know there are lots of folks right now who are at home building out their home bars, building out their home bartender skill sets, trying to experiment. Rum gives you the ability with just a bottle or two to create a whole host of different cocktails that will have all of your friends rather mystified and rather impressed. So I'm actually going to pause there for a second. And this is a great time and a great segue to bring in my buddy Nick Ruiz from Patent Pending. Nick's an incredible guy. There are few folks I know in the city who make more magic than he does when it comes to the kinds of cocktails that he's able to create and to curate. So I'm excited to kind of hear what he has to say and some of the cocktails that he wants to demonstrate here as well. So before doing that, and Nick, you can pop on your camera and your mic whenever you're ready. Matt, any questions from the audience that we wanna address before turning it over to Nick?
I did have a question. Yep. And this is just about tasting notes. I think it was on the white rum. Mm-hmm. And that was about lemongrass. It says, how prominent is the lemongrass note in the white rum? And then just a second follow-up to that is, how can we taste 10 to 1 rum? It's listed on nycocktailexpo.com right now. I just put in a link in the chat for 10 to 1 rum as well. But yeah, so the lemongrass note in the white rum, is that prominent?
You pick it up. I wouldn't say that it's prominent or dominant. Again, I think both rums are really, really well balanced. I think with the white rum, the exercise actually of just experiencing the nose of the rum is kind of a journey in and of itself. We have people who fall in love with the white rum on the basis of the nose alone. And again, you are going to get some of that grassy, that lemongrass nose,
yeah,
a little bit of herbaceousness. And Matt, you tried the rum. I know you love the rum. You're going to get some of that fresh citrus coming through as well. So it almost is a little bit of a medley, I would say, right, of different notes that you experience on the nose. And then when you get to the palate, as I said, like it's actually a very clean sort of slight minerality to it, but like a very fresh zest that you get when you try the white rum. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, you take one sip, you just get that whoa, like that taste of like, you're drinking something good with complexity and flavors, and it's so enjoyable. And as you said, like cocktails or sipping neat or on the rocks, it covers the whole spectrum. I got another question for you. And this is relevant. Where do I find your rum was it Wisconsin? Should I check the website? I put in a link for a buy now that's from 10 to 1 site. Does that work, or how can we answer? That's Annette. Hey, Annette, thank you so much.
Hey,
how can you find the rum in Wisconsin?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah, so a couple of things you can do. One is if you email us at info@10to1rum.com, and we'll happily get back to you and find the nearest locations to you in Wisconsin. We just launched there a couple of months ago. If you want it delivered right to your door, as Matt alluded to, we have an e-commerce site that's live nationwide. If you go to shop 10to1.com. And Matt, you can drop it in there as well for folks. Doesn't matter where you are in the country. There are a couple of states we can't deliver to, like Massachusetts and Georgia, but for the most part, regardless of where you are in the country right now, grab a bottle or two and deliver to your door in a couple of days. So we can make it happen that way for you as well.
That's great, I think. And I did put shop 10 to 1 rum. If you guys check out the chat, you can go ahead and click on there. You should be able to locate shipping to Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yeah, guys.
Matt, you put shop 10 to 1 rum or shop 10 to 1?
So I put shop 10 to 1.
Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly. Nope, you're good. You're perfect.
Great. She said, that's Camilla says, yes. 10 to 1 rum is coming to Philadelphia. You guys, I want to say what's up to Nick too, man. This is just a cool group on here. It's like rum community, right? What's up, Nick?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
I can't help but note, you guys know that whoever's watching, whether you're in New York, so New York's tropical cocktail competition is happening right now. It's called the Tiki to Go Down. It's the third year. It was the Tiki Throwdown this year, the Tiki to Go Down. And 10 to 1 has teamed up with Patent Pending. And I cannot wait to try your cocktail. I just want to say, it's good to see you. It's just good to see you behind the bar, man.
You guys as well, Mark, Matt, very good to see you guys, and very good to see you guys at home.
Cool. So I'll let you guys take it away. I'll say cheers, and I'll let you know if any more questions. Cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Rum for your lives. Bye.
That's what we do, rumming for our lives. So Nick, great to see you, my brother. How you doing?
Good to see you, Mark.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of flip it over to you. Would love for you to kind of take the crew through a couple of cocktails that I know you wanted to demonstrate from. But before that, actually, as Matt just mentioned, 10 to 1 and Patent Pending were lucky enough, and you guys, anybody who hasn't been to Patent Pending as yet, if you're in New York City right now, that needs to be a stop. If you're coming to New York City, put it at the top of your list, because Nick and his team are geniuses. They're magicians. So let me just make that super clear. But we were lucky enough to team up for the competition as part of the New York Cocktail Expo. And we created a cocktail together called the Immortel. You want to give a little quick preview of what that cocktail is, Nick, before we dive into these?
Absolutely. So the Immortel itself, I mean, when I was approached to do this with 10 to 1, I really wanted to do something that kind of showcased and went on the sustainable side of cocktail making. That's something, especially in these times of just craziness, kind of making sure that you're doing things responsibly and also kind of, extending the life of your ingredients, which is a little nod to the name Immortel. We came up with a cocktail here at Patent Pending using some really, really cool experimental things, some lacto-fermented hibiscus, some fermented lime, almost like a kombucha style, turning it into a really nice savory sour. I'm actually going to be making that cocktail for you guys right now, so we can actually go through it. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So to start off, we're going to be doing 2 dashes of Peychaud bitters. And this is going to be a little liqueur mix. It's going to be a little bit of Velvet Falernum, some Chirot aloe liqueur, and some allspice dram. Okay, then we're going to go to the really, really cool lacto-fermented hibiscus. So essentially what we did, we added a little bit of salt, a little bit of yuzu, which is already a fermented peel paste essentially. And we wound up turning that, letting it sit for about 5 to 6 days. So when you're lacto-fermenting, essentially what you're doing is you're extracting the sugars, letting those ferment and pretty much bake off, and then turning that into lactic acids, which is actually great for your immune system and just gives a really fantastic flavor. So it's going to be ½ ounce of that guy there. Then we're going to go to a really cool yuzu kosho cane syrup. Here at Patent Pending, we do everything syrup-wise 2 to 1. So essentially what we're doing is we're doing 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. Adds a really nice viscosity to your drinks. A really nice velvety texture. Not overly sweet, but just really elevates your cocktail to the next level there. So we're going to go ½ ounce of that. It's a thick boy.
Take a second.
Then we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of fermented lime. And then the star of the show, this is going to be the 10 to 1 white rum. 1.5 ounces, really letting that rum show and kick through. Such a bright, amazing flavor, and just goes so well with this cocktail. Really is delicious. All right, we're gonna ice that tin down. Give that a shake. Nice little shake face there for you.
That's right. Watching the magic happen, watching it all unfold.
We're gonna go over.
Awesome.
The color of that cocktail.
It's just insane, right?
Absolutely beautiful. Honestly, hibiscus is such an amazing flavor to work with. Really, really nice, bright citrus notes to it, but it just yields this color that's absolutely insane. And honestly, there's no one else here, so I will be taking a nice sip out of this. This is a little bit of hibiscus tea powder right on top of there for you. And this is the Immortelle that we're actually going to be submitting for the Tiki to go down. Cheers.
Yes, buddy.
Wow. Savory, sour, really nice, beautiful.
Delicious without a doubt. And it just looks elegant, just crazy.
Well, we have a nice box coming your way with the Immortelle Elixir, which is a nice mix that we have of all the ingredients plus the 10 to 1. But I'm almost positive you have probably a few hundred bottles of 10 to 1 at home.
yeah, exactly. That piece I'm definitely set on.
That looks amazing. I know it's so good, man. I know your style, Nick. I love patent pending. I miss being there with you. I'm going to come visit you soon because I want to have that drink.
Yes, please. It will be available here. Obviously, with kind of like a limited capacity going on in New York right now, it's always difficult, but this will be available, not on menu, but if you are coming from New York Cocktail Expo, we would love to have you here. Honestly, I was actually saying to Marc and Matt before that having this computer screen and seeing like Marc's and Matt's face, this is the first time in like 8 months I'm actually having someone like at the bar, which is like super weird. Like I get to actually make drinks again for people at the bar. I keep on staring at people from tables far away. So it's very, very good to be with you guys here doing this. It's awesome.
It's
we're glad to hang out with you, man.
There's a question for you, Nick, that I'm just popping on. So Roy Wagner, what's up, Roy? Thanks for your question.
Roy.
He's like, nice. He says, nice. Of course, that cocktail looks beautiful. Would it be difficult to make at home?
No. So the actual process of fermentation, which it seems like a little, a little difficult or sometimes a little daunting, it really is just about patience and, do your research and patience. It's about letting something sit for 3 to 6 days and just kind of leaving it alone. I can recommend for sure a really great book for fermentation processes is the Noma Fermentation Guide. Really fantastic book. I have now read it front to back twice, and it really it makes things like fermentation super simple to do at home. Everything inside the cocktail, from the Chirot to the allspice dram to the Falernum, is very accessible to pick up. And just as Marc was saying before, 10 to 1 is available all over the country. So you can definitely find and replicate this cocktail for sure.
Awesome.
Cool. I'll do 2 more. And I know, Marc, you guys have more to say. I just figure if there's a relevant question, I'll ask them now, guys. But if there's just general questions, we're going to do a Q&A at the end so everybody can chime in. I see there's questions coming in here in the chat. And this one's for Nick, I think. I think a straightforward question. If your syrup's 2 to 1, do you still use the same amount of it as you would a 1 to 1 syrup?
It really depends on the drink that I'm making. So at that point, it is actually a fantastic question. When you do get to a point of doing which you're going to see actually in a moment, an old-fashioned style cocktail, you will bring your syrup ratio down. Obviously, a 2-to-1 syrup is going to be way more rich and just very sweet. So you will see the spec in a little while for the amazing 10-to-1 old-fashioned that I will be doing, just kind of how I balance that off. But yes, there are drinks that I will bring down the actual ratio of sugar to make sure that it's not overly sweet, but still giving a very nice velvety texture for your cocktail.
Nick, awesome. Are we gonna have the recipes for folks to send out?
Yeah, I can definitely do that for you for sure. I mean, everyone who's joined here for 10-to-1 to watch this webinar, honestly, it's just, you guys deserve all the information that you can get. This is one of those things that I love to do this and kind of show and guide, and I would love to make this available for you guys.
Cool, cool. Cheers. Thanks so much, Nick. I'll let you guys get back to what you're doing, and we'll have some more questions later. Thank you, everybody. Cheers to you.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks, Matt. Well, so I think we keep the show going a little bit, and Roy's question was an interesting one, of course. The cocktail, this first one, the Immortelle that we demoed, incredible cocktail. I think you can find ways to make it happen at home, but if not, why don't we, Nick? Why don't we show these guys a couple sort of easier but certainly very elegant riffs that bring the rum to life? I know we had talked about doing an old fashioned and a martini, right?
Yes. So we're going to be doing a very, very nice rum. 10-to-1 rum old-fashioned style cocktail, and then the beautiful 50-50 martini, which I can enjoy all the time, just getting the best of both worlds with that. So we can actually get into the old-fashioned now. Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Very, very good. Let me just grab my glass here. Be right back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to start off with 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. And guys, the old fashioned, even though it is, like Mark said, a simple cocktail, it is one of those things that, doing it properly is so important to me, especially us here at Patent Pending, where, obviously places do things differently, but still, what you want out of your old fashioned, obviously you don't want anything overly sweet, it does have sugar to it. You really do want to broadcast the spirit that you're using. And in this case, 10-to-1 is the spirit that we're using, and it's fantastic. And I want that to actually really shine, not so much muffle. And sometimes when you do get old fashions, it, obviously not mentioning any places or things like that, but you'll get, muddled cherries and orange things and a lot of haze around the amazing spirit that you are using. So we really do want to focus on the 10-to-1 here. So we're going to go from the 4 dashes of Angostura bitters, we're going to go to a 1/4 ounce of 2-to-1 cane syrup. And this kind of goes back to that question. A lot of specs for an old fashioned will be using a 1/2 ounce. So I do want to cut back on that sugar a little bit. It's still going to give that really nice velvety texture and the sweetness that you're looking for without being too cloying or too sweet. So now with that, we're going to go to the amazing 10-to-1 dark. We're going to go to 2 1/4 ounce of 10-to-1. Okay. With that, guys, we will ice down this drink. Now, what you're doing, especially if you do have cold draft cubes, like we're fortunate to have here, you can let this sit for a moment. Obviously, not too long. You do want to get to stirring. You're going to be stirring for about, depending on your ice, between 10 to 20 seconds. So if you do have at-home ice from a tray, you're going to want to stir a little bit on the shorter side. You don't want to over dilute. For us here at Patent Pending, we do use the cold draft cubes. So you do want to go for about, 10 to 15 seconds on that. So we'll get to stirring and get this amazing cocktail all set up. So when you are stirring, I always say, again, it's a method of pushing and pulling. You're pushing out and pulling in and making sure that you're getting all the way around. This is a technique that it just takes practice, but still, once you get it, there's nothing better than the silence of a very, very good stir, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the hallmark of a great stir.
Always give a taste to what you're doing. Just kind of see where you are. I mean, I'm getting already how fantastic that 10 to 1 does open up with a little bit of dilution and a little bit of sugar there. It really just a fantastic cocktail. So we'll pour this over, guys, into our glass. And we will express with a really nice orange peel. Nice expression. Give it a little rub on the sides. Get those nice bright orange oils right there at the palate. Just going to enhance that flavor. And then that nice peel right in. And this is the 10 to 1 old fashioned.
That's awesome.
Cheers to you guys. Oh my God.
Cheers, my brother. Success.
Very, very much success. It's fantastic.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good.
Cool. And you know, as the founder of a rum company, one of the more frequent questions I get asked is obviously like, what's your favorite cocktail? And I am always like, hands down, a rum old fashioned. You know, for all the reasons that Nick said, right? Like it's super simple to make, but you want to handle with care and sort of put the requisite love and care in to bring it to life. It's spirit forward, so it allows the rum to shine in this case with some great like complementary parts. And yeah, just like a really, really elegant and amazing riff on sort of the classic. You know, a lot of folks will obviously try to use whiskey or a bourbon or something like that in their old fashioned. The rum old fashioned, I'm telling you, anybody who hasn't tried this yet is definitely missing out.
And definitely it's spirit forward, but so we had a couple of cocktail classes here yesterday, and this week was actually whiskey, but the people that signed up for the class, they were going to be out of town. They were going to be, going back to California, and they actually wanted to do rum. And I fantastically had all the 10 to 1 here because it's actually on our menu here. And the rum old fashioned was the first thing that made. And, one of the people, had a very kind of like, they were a little weirded out about just doing a rum old fashioned. And I think what makes this drink so fantastic is that, like Marc said, it's simple, it's elegant, and you just want to keep on going for more with it. And the 10 to 1 just shines so bright in this cup. Actually, I'm on shift tonight and I can't stop myself from.
Little celebration, man. It's all good. It's all good. Cool. All right, so should we jump into a little martini action for the crew?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get this guy over here. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the 10 to 1 white 50-50 martini. 50-50 martini is a exact split base between your spirit and dry vermouth. Typically with gin, really nice, just crisp. Fantastic for anytime really, but still a very, very simple to make at home cocktail that just has an amazing flavor with that 10 to 1 white. Just in general, this is one of my favorite rums, and not just because I'm on this webinar. I use it constantly. I have it at home. Honestly, it's one of my favorite daiquiris to actually spirits used for a daiquiri. It's a fantastic product. So when the first, what you can do, rum can do better, popped up, I just imagined a 50-50 martini with 10 to 1, how crisp, how herbal, and just how really, really nice that would be. So this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be starting off with 2 dashes of orange bitters in there for you. Then, so we use here at patent pending Noli Kratz dry vermouth, but still it's a dry vermouth of your choice. That is just the dry vermouth that we use here. Really fantastic, but whatever dry vermouth you feel at home is appropriate, more than fine. So you're gonna go 1.5 ounces of dry vermouth, 1.5 ounces of 10 to 1 white, Guys, we're gonna ice this down. So on this cocktail itself, I would stay, even with this cold down ice, I would stay on that for almost 10 to 15 seconds. You do want that 10 to 1 and that dry vermouth to come together, but not over diluted. At this point, it is just straight spirit and vermouth. So you get it nice, get it chilled, but don't over stir on this one, especially at home. If you do not have larger cubes, or if you just have tray cubes, I would say probably 5 to 10 seconds. We're going to give this a stir. So add a little bit of ISO. Here, what we do, obviously we have larger mixing glasses, but for us, needing to make sure you have full control as you're pouring, you put a little bit of fresh ice up top, kind of to crown it off, just so that when you do put your strainer on, be it a Hawthorne or a julep, you can actually grab hold and you have a nice firm grip on that cocktail itself. So you can pour inside of a glass. We're using a Nick and Nora here, really elegant, beautiful, and that is just a gorgeous cocktail. Typically, this would be a lemon peel. I think in light of 10 to 1 being the main star here, I'm going to use a lime coin. So this is it's a lime peel that you kind of cut into a circle. You get a lot of nice expression of that oil from this, and it's just going to bring out that flavor from the 10 to 1 so much better. And this can be discarded right after. And that is the 10 to 1 50-50 martini.
Amazing. Cheers.
Yep. Now I have to kind of figure out which one I want to drink first, because I kind of have.
Yeah, exactly. Now you got a couple different cocktails to work through before things get going this evening, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is so good. Honestly, so simple, so bright, so fresh, crisp. It's just a beautiful cocktail.
Yeah, no, those are amazing, Nick. And again, I think like back to sort of the anchor of the conversation, right? Like I think for us, the mission of 10 to 1, again, we're trying to bring this elevated view of the spirit, elevated lens of the spirit to life, but really kind of like anchoring on this idea of versatility, right? I had it actually up on bring it back up here for a second, but whether you're creating, Nick just took you guys through the old fashioned and the martini demos, which were incredible. But, some of you guys at home love a Negroni, equal parts, really, really simple and straightforward to create as well. We love kind of co-opting the margarita and doing a rummarita with the white rum. Manhattan, also incredible. Actually, I had a great riff on a Rob Roy the other day, which is also pretty amazing. So, again, guys, take a little bit of time. These are just two really simple, effective ones to create. And actually, we do also have, Nick kind of walked through the recipes and the ingredients for each of these as well, just kind of clicking through them here on the screen. We can certainly make these available through Matt also, but just like really simple, really elegant, really effective ways to kind of up your cocktail game and showcase the versatility of rum as well. I'll stop that there. Matt, any questions, any thoughts?
I do have a question. I'm going to go back a little bit to what Nick was talking about. Thanks. Some of the questions come in while you guys are talking, so yeah, I kind of loop back around if that's cool.
Oh. Yeah.
The martini looks so good. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
It looks elegant. It looks beautiful. I know the taste is like so good. So I got a question, and this probably goes back to I think a previous cocktail you were making, Nick, from Douglas. What's up, Douglas? He says, asking, was that Noma guide to fermentation?
Yes. The Noma Guide to Fermentation. It's a fantastic book. Honestly, like this year has been, besides the craziness, has been kind of like the year of a lot of fermentation becoming a thing and a little more popular. And that guide is just that's your base to get in. and also to grow. It's a fantastic book.
Chiming back in, and there's questions coming in, guys. So if you want me to take a minute here, just ask them. Angelique, cheers. Thank you. A question for Nick, I believe. Any advice on homemade kombucha flavors to mix with the rum? Any recommendations on what else to mix with rum and tepache?
So I would say, again, we do a lot of ginger. We do a lot of yuzu here. I'm trying to work something now for our winter menu, like a kombucha cocktail style with apple, which I'm super, super excited about, and we've been trying to work. Again, I mean, I'm kind of like stuck on it right now because I just kind of made this cocktail, but the yuzu hibiscus I'm getting it to the point. I kind of brought an example of kind of how I started off, put it in a bag, I sous vide it for a little bit, and then I leave it in a temperature controlled room. You know, it's very, very simple to do at home, but I would say my favorites right now are probably hibiscus, yuzu, ginger, and now working with apples. Fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. Cheers. My rum old fashioned is down to the bottom. This is when I remember the bartender would ask me if I wanted another round, right about two seconds ago.
I try to hand it through, but I don't think that's
I don't know. I feel like we're hanging out, man. It's just great to connect. Is everybody enjoying the presentation so far? Are you guys enjoying talking about rum and seeing Nick from Patent Pending make these drinks for you guys? Are you feeling you're learning something and being inspired? Go ahead and load it up in the chat and let's hear from you.
And please ask all the questions, guys. Honestly, like it's kind of not only figuring out, the brand itself is a fantastic brand, and I love to talk about it. But one thing for sure is learning how to utilize it. And I feel like that's a thing in cocktails, that you can enjoy this by itself, or you can enjoy it in a good cocktail. And Marc had so much amazing information on the actual rum itself, and definitely take advantage of that. But if you guys have any questions on how to utilize these cocktails, what I would do with it, please feel free to ask questions. That's what we're here for. Yeah,
well, I'm seeing everybody loading up in the comments there, saying how inspired they are. We're not done yet, you guys. I was just checking in with you. I'm not here. The name of it says it's been great learning about this rum. They hope it shows up in their area. That's Kentucky. So much flying in here. Yep, elevating rum. We all love rum. We know, I mean, all this stuff is so true about rum and cocktails, but most people just don't know it. And it's great that education is so fun. And once you have it, you're hooked. You're in the rum fam. Sorry, I'm rum fam for life. We got so much great inspiration. The inspiration we're creating inspiring experiences here at New York Cocktail Expo, right? That's how we get liquid to lips. That's how we all improve the home bars and all of our drinking experiences. Looking forward to trying it with pomegranate, ginger, and pear accents. That's Meg. I'll ask this question. I know so many, Marc, I'll just tell you, so many people are saying, can I get it in my area? Can I get it in Connecticut? Can I get it here? Everyone's asking. So we're going to have a general email we'll send out with how they best can get in the area instead of me going through each. And thank you all for just letting us connect with you on that. I'll ask this one last question, Nick, and then I have questions for Marc. Tyler is saying, what are your favorite Amaros to mix with 10 to 1?
Okay, so I think for me, if I were to mix an Amaro with 10 to 1, I think it would be with the white and probably Amaro Chiachara. I think that Amaro actually just works super, super well with this Caribbean style rum. At that point, I would kind of come up with a cocktail for it. But for me, if I were sipping at home, I think Amaro Chiachara would definitely be it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Nick. Guys, if we're answering your questions, let us know. Thanks for showing love in the comments. Give us some fire. Give us some love. We're having fun with you guys. Hey, Marc, let's get into more about 10 to 1 rum with some questions. One that came back at us at 2:23 p.m. from Steve. Thanks for hanging tight and letting us get to your question. You mentioned the Jamaican part of your blend is from Worthy Park. Would you mind sharing the origins of the other elements of your blend?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. Hopefully Steve's still tuned in to get his answer. Yeah, Steve, we're big believers in sort of just showcasing, as I said before, like the different distillation methods, different terroirs, etc., that come from around the Caribbean. and very transparent about sort of what goes into the blend. So the dark rum, again, 4 countries, that's Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. The requisite elements would be Angostura from Trinidad, Foursquare from Barbados, Worthy Park from Jamaica, and AFD from the Dominican Republic. For the white rum, remember, it's just 2 countries in that blend. So it's Worthy Park sitting alongside AFD, Dominican, column still rum. Those are different components of the blend there. Hopefully that answers your question.
How many bottles of the 17-year are being produced?
Yeah, just about, I see that question from Holly. Just about 1,200 in total, Holly, is what we ended up producing and making commercially available. We launched it two weeks ago now, after an incredible start. It's actually also available on our e-commerce shop, ten-to-one.com. And then we're bringing it to the markets that we've launched in. So you can find it at a couple of select retailers here in New York, soon to be in Illinois as well, Georgia, South Carolina, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. But if you want to get your hands on it right now, shop 10 to 1 would be your easiest bet. It's a really remarkable rum.
Great. So I'm going to leave that to the questions for now. I'm going to take it back to the presentation. And guys, we still got Q&A coming up as well. So
yeah, I mean, sorry, Matt. So that was actually the pivoting to Nick was where we're gonna leave off the presentation. So my formal part of the proceedings is done. So now any questions, anything that people want to discuss back and forth, happy to do it.
Guys, load in your questions. If you want to directly engage, can you repeat, this is Star, can you repeat Caught, Angostura, Foursquare, and Worthy Park? What was the 4th?
Yeah, the Dominican Distillery, AFD. Fourth one.
AFD. Let's go ahead and look here in the more Q&A. Steve was still here. He was hanging on. He got the answer there for you. Thank you so much, guys. So while you're getting your questions loaded up, right now we do have Best Cocktail of the Year competitions going. And isn't patent pending in both? Yes. Patent pending is going for Best Cocktail of the Year, and which is a huge great competition here. It's a region's Best Cocktail of the Year competition and the Tiki Throwdown. So this cocktail is actually nominated for 2 awards, right?
Yes. I mean, thankfully, to be able to work with 10 to 1 on this project was just fantastic, especially with how crazy things are. It was really great to get back in and speak to Marc again. It's been so long since I've seen you and everything else, and Matt, you as well. I actually do have the box set here with me now. I'd love to show you guys what that looks like, if you guys are down with that.
I'm down for that. I'd love to see it. I think this is the coolest thing ever. I think the cocktail kits is like the coolest. You get this kit, it's got everything you need, your 10 to 1 rum. Oh.
So this is our 10 to 1 cocktail kit. I actually delivered 2 myself this morning, one to Shannon Mustafer, who is a fantastic person in rum, and then Jelani Johnson, who is a fantastic bartender over at Clover Club. This actually was, the box itself is so cool. I really wish we had been doing this at Patent for a little bit. When they brought these boxes over, I was stoked. And then you kind of open up and you get a really nice little kit of jiggers, your nice Immortel elixir, which is very cool. This is the mix before the 10 to 1, and it comes with a really nice coupe glass from Patent Pending, which is very, very cool. But the cocktail itself, I really hope people enjoy it, and the judges like it, and super excited for you guys to come into Patent Pending to try it.
Dude, that looks so cool, man. Cocktail kits. It's like, we're in 2020. It's like 100 years since the Prohibition, 1920 to 2020. Here we are. History is being made again. You're literally coming to us from out of a speakeasy. It's like, what's going on, right? We're repeating history. And to go cocktails and cocktail kits, we're trending this year. So that's how we did the cocktail competition. And what a cool way to get everything you need. I want one of those kits. So,
Matt, we have one with your name on it.
No way.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
No,
so I will let, I'm sorry, can you repeat the Amaro that you mixed with 10 to 1? That was Donna Krawbuck. Which one? Amaro
Chiochara.
Okay. Might want to, we'll spell that in the chat. We'll get it to you. So while you guys are thinking of your last questions, we have a few more minutes here for you. Are there any bartenders watching right now? I know we have some introverts in the crowd. Usually get a few people that are very vocal, but we do have a big group here. So are there any bartenders in the crowd? Are you a cocktail enthusiast? Are you a rum enthusiast? Are you a spirit enthusiast? Let me know in the comment section. And are you in New York? Because if you're in New York, a great and fun way for us to support New York bars right now, doing what we love, is going and patronizing and getting these drinks. So you can go to Patent Pending and you can get the Immortale, right? You can get the cocktail.
And we do both expressions of 10 to 1. So I can make you what I made today. You can come in, unfortunately not sit at the bar, but I can come over to you and we can figure out what we can do with 10 to 1 for you, be it tip it neat, which is amazing, or work it into a cocktail. I would love to serve you guys some 10 to 1 here. It would be fantastic. That's
awesome. Yeah. So someone's saying, how can we try all the drinks? Yes. Once again, if you go to nycocktailexpo.com/NYCE online week, you will see a list of all the bars that are participating, including Patent Pending is on there. You can click on their logo and it takes you right to their competing cocktail, and you can click a GPS map how to get there, and you can go and try these drinks. And we're doing the online People's Choice Award for Best Cocktail. So if you're in New York, you have something to say about this. You can share Patent Pending's page from New York Cocktail Expo to vote, right? Yeah. You can go online and you can post. If you guys want to post some pictures from the webinar today, tag 10 to 1 Rum, tag Patent Pending NYC. That's your Instagram handle, right? Yes, Patent Pending. Tag NY Cocktail Expo. If you're making a drink, if you're having rum, tag us. And then, of course, you can post with the hashtag Immortale, and that's a vote for Patent Pending to win People's Choice. Yes. Online People's Choice. It's super important. Honestly, I really, we worked very, very hard on this here, me and my team. And I think at that point, I want people to come in and really try this cocktail. And for the people who aren't in New York, please, on that bio, on that page that Matt was speaking on before, is actually the full spec of that drink. So you can go and you can make it at home, and please feel free to message Matt, who can relay it back to me if you have any questions on kind of my process for lacto fermentation and fermenting lime, things like that. It seems a little experimental, but with enough practice, it's very, very simple. Well, and how can people connect with you directly on Instagram if they want to stay in touch with you, Nick? It's Nicholas Lee Ruiz. So Nicholas spelled normal, Lee Lee, Ruiz Ruiz. That's great. So we have a tiki enthusiast in Northern Virginia, that's Star. Tiki enthusiast in NYC, Jennifer, what's up? You gotta be a judge for the Tiki Throwdown. You gotta visit all the Tiki bars right now, especially Patent Pending, and go vote. Have their drink, purchase the cocktail with a food item, show some support. You get a complimentary. She says, "I'm all over it," right, Jeff? I'm all over it.
She's on her way. Yeah.
Are you kidding? This is what I live for. I am a true bar goer, right? I love it. Visit those bars. You get a complimentary spirit tasting. Take a picture of their cocktail, post it online, and vote for them. Let's get to, we do have a few more minutes for questions, and then we're going to be wrapping up soon. So get your questions in, guys. Now's the time. Steve is saying, can you just talk, Marc, can you talk more about the 17-year, obviously a special cask, but what's the story behind finding it?
Yeah, great question, Steve. And I don't want to overuse this word, but you heard me mention it at the start. We talk about sort of finding ways to challenge expectations, finding ways to elevate the category, So everything we do with 10 to 1 as a brand is about, trying to come up with different, unique ways to bring that vision to life. So we have our 2 core SKUs, the age and the white, which you saw, Nick did a great demo with. And we really believe in this idea of launching probably 1 to 2 reserves every year. Maybe it's a special cask like we've done in this case. Maybe it's a unique finish. Maybe it's a different blend story. This idea of beauty in the blend is very critical to the brand. And so our 10 to 1 17-year single cask reserve is the first in what we hope will be sort of a longer lineup of really extra special offerings to come. Why these casks and why, I suppose, why now? Well, Like I mentioned, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. So as a founder of the brand, I'm born and raised in Trinidad, even though, of course, 10 to 1 is a pan-Caribbean story. And we thought it'd be extra special to bring something to life from Trinidad as the first ever reserve. And so, we spent a lot of time sourcing different casks, experimenting with different, well, actually both single casks and potential blends, that sort of like extra age level. And this one really just stood out to us. I mean, there were four casks remaining. We sourced and we secured all four of them. And you'll see that on the actually I have a box here. You'll see that it says single cask reserve at the bottom because each of the casks was then bottled individually. Of course, maybe it might just be down to where a cask was kept in a warehouse or, how it was transported. You might pick up little nuances in the profile and the taste profile from one bottle to the next. And so we thought, maintain the integrity, bottle each cask individually. So if you ended up sort of securing a bottle, actually, I'll show you what this looks like in here. You see it in real time. The bottle comes in here in a little thing like that. And on the back, you're going to have the cask and the bottle number. Each of them has been individually bottled that way. So that's really sort of the genesis of it. We think doing these reserves from time to time is going to make a massive difference, elevate the category, tell the story of kind of where I'm from, the unique lens of Trinidad and Tobago, and make it extra special for you guys who are just getting to know 10 to 1.
Cool stuff. I think that's very informative. I mean, we've got a rum aficionado from Pennsylvania Angels here. Tyler is a bar manager from Park Slope. Thanks so much for tuning in. Mobile bartender, Camilla. And this is cool. Camille, right? What's up, Camille? She said, I started learning to mix my own drinks after everything shut down. So have these webinars been great for you? Are you enjoying learning about rum? And all the bartenders out there, what do you think about 10 to 1 rum? And are you interested in trying it? How can they get a tasting, right? We can do some on-demand tastings. You can go to nycocktailexpo.com, engage with 10 to 1 rum, literally can click contact and you will be in touch if your industry, and you can get together for a tasting, right? Planned maybe to go and see them and see about talking about more things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely. So everybody who's still tuned in, I see our guy Tyler from Park Slope. I mean, if you're here in the city and you want to arrange a tasting, myself, the entire team is actually based in New York. We have Chris out in the Midwest. He's in Chicago. So yeah, get in touch, as Matt mentioned, through the platform, through the site. Hit us up on email, on IG, and we'd love to come in and do a tasting and get you guys set up. We want to make this the most, I think, accessible, easy to engage, easy to use rum out there. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well, this has been so fun. Nick, did you have something to add?
Yeah, and we also here at Patent Pending as well, we're doing cocktail classes from beginner to kind of more bartender focused classes. And actually, this coming month is actually going to be our rum month. And Marc, actually, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it yet, but I would love for you to come in and talk during the class to actually promote 10 to 1 if you would be down with it.
Sure, anytime, bro. You let me know what you need.
Awesome.
So guys, if there's nothing more to add, this has been so fun and so great. Everyone joining us, talking about one of our favorite topics at New York Cocktail Expo, rum. We've been promoting rum and putting it at the forefront and really elevating the category for years now. So we're so happy to be working with 10 to 1 rum. It's great rum. Everybody's got to try it. Thank you guys. Everyone's saying really great webinar. I'll leave you guys with this. Bartenders out there, New York, sign up now. Participate in 2021 Best Cocktail of the Year, the Tiki Throwdown. We're going to be doing some really cool stuff. We've got more webinars coming up. Please visit all the bars, support the bars in your community, and get the right legislation going to support bars in the hospitality industry if you can. And please go ahead and become a judge and vote for these great drinks and Best Cocktail of the Year and the Tiki Throwdown. So I'm going to say cheers to Nick and to Marc. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It's fantastic.
Thanks for having us, Matt. Amazing job, Nick. And thank you to everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys had a good time.
Okay. We'll see you as NY Cocktail Expo Online week continues. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.